Hi, I am Manohar, founder of CoachPro Consulting and PMI authorized training partner instructor for the PMP certification and training courses. Have you ever wondered how to clarify roles and responsibilities in your project? So in this video, we will explain a powerful tool that can improve the project management. Let's talk about the responsibility assignment tools called RACI chart, or it is also called as responsibility assignment matrix, that is RAM, responsibility assignment matrix. RACI stands for responsible, accountable, consult and inform. It is a common type of responsibility assignment matrix that uses responsible, accountable, consult and inform statuses to define the involvement of stakeholders in your project activities. It designates the type of accountabilities assigned to the resources, assigned to the stakeholders, by keeping the information visible, transparently visible to all stakeholders. RACI chart is nothing but a tool that is used to clarify and communicate the roles and responsibilities of the team members in any particular project. R stands for responsible. It relates to a team member. A team member performs work to complete the task or create the deliverables. Every task has at least one responsible person who is going to act on that particular task to make sure all activities associated with this particular task is completed, and that person is called as responsible. A stands for accountable. It includes leadership. It includes management. It delegates and reviews the work involved in a project. What you have done, what is not done, how things should have been done. This kind of counterparts is taken care by leadership and management team members, and they are part of this accountable. It ensures the responsible person or a team knows the project expectations and completes the work on time. Accordingly, each task must have at least one accountable person who oversee the overall progress, who oversee the overall development. Next is C. C stands for consult. It includes stakeholders. Stakeholders provide input. Stakeholders provide feedback on your project work, whether it is up to the mark, it is as per the scope of the project or not. Not every task or milestone needs a consulted party. You have to consider all stakeholders, but invite only necessarily input. The stakeholders whose input is necessary, those stakeholders should be consulted on any task, on any activities into your project. And then I stands for inform. Usually the stakeholders who are not the project decision makers, they fall under this category. They should be informed. Those stakeholders need to be informed of project progress because their work might be affected, but they don't need details. Who needs to be informed about the task progress or completion? That should be, those stakeholders should be informed. We'll discuss more about this using some examples. Now you understand what RACI is all about. It's all about roles and responsibility assignment matrix. Who are the stakeholders who should be responsible? Who are the stakeholders who should be consulted, who should be informed? Who are the stakeholders who are accountable? Now let's discuss the advantages. Let's discuss the benefits of using a RACI matrix, RACI chart on your project. So what is the first benefit? The biggest advantage of using a RACI chart is it clarifies the roles and responsibilities among all stakeholders. A RACI chart provides a clear and structured way to define who is responsible for each of the tasks into your project. This clarity help team members understand their roles and what is expected of them. Now, let's imagine a software development project. Think about this project without a RACI chart. There must be a confusion about who is responsible for coding, who are the stakeholders who is going to do testing, who are the stakeholders who are going to do the documentation. But if you create a RACI chart, it gives clear information that the developer A is responsible for coding. Here developer A falls under responsible R. Tester B is responsible for testing. Here tester B falls under the category called responsible. And the technical writer, who may be the person C, who is responsible for the documentation. So here tester C also comes under responsible stakeholders category. This clarity prevents duplication of efforts and misunderstanding among stakeholders. This gives clarity to all stakeholders who are responsible, who are accountable, who should be consulted, who are the stakeholders, they must be informed. Now, the second benefit of having a RACI chart is improved communication. The RACI chart acts as a communication tool. It ensures that everyone involved into the project understands their role and how they fit into the bigger picture of the project. It encourages open and transparent communication. How? Let's consider a marketing campaign. The RACI chart indicates for any marketing campaign, the marketing manager is accountable for the campaign's success. So what categories marketing manager falls under? The marketing manager falls under the category accountable, because the marketing manager is accountable for overall marketing campaign success. Now let's talk about, for the same marketing campaign, the graphic designer. The graphic designer is responsible for creating visual content. So here the graphic designer falls under category of responsible, because he or she is responsible for creating the visual content. And then the copywriter is responsible for crafting a compelling message. So copywriter also falls under responsible category. Marketing manager is accountable for overall marketing campaign success. The graphic designer is responsible for creating the visual content, and the copywriter is responsible for crafting a compelling messages. So marketing manager is accountable, graphic designer is responsible, copywriter is responsible. Now let's talk about social media specialist. Social media specialist need to be consulted for social media strategy. So social media specialist falls under consult category. But if you talk about the sales team who is taking care of that particular product sales, they should be informed about the progress, campaign progress. So the sales team should be informed. So here the sales team falls under informed category, and that's the reason this chart ensures that all team members know their roles and can communicate effectively. Now, the third benefit of having a RACI chart is enhanced accountability. The RACI chart clearly designates who is accountable. Like in our earlier example, for creating a marketing campaign, the marketing manager was accountable for overall success of this campaign, right? So that's the reason RACI chart clearly designates who is accountable for the success of any particular task, of any particular deliverable, and this fosters a sense of ownership and accountability among team members. Let's take an example of a construction project. Here the project manager for the construction project is accountable, is ultimately accountable for the project's completion. Who? The project manager of the construction project. But if you talk about the site engineers, they are responsible for the technical aspects of the construction. If there are any delays, it is the project manager who knows to hold the site engineer who is accountable. And it's clear in the RACI chart who is accountable for this delay. And this promotes a culture of responsibility and encourages individuals to take ownership of their task. And as soon people understand their accountability, their ownership, they try their best to complete their task assignment on time as per the quality expected. Now, the fourth advantage of having a RACI chart is reduced misunderstanding and conflicts. By defining the roles and responsibilities clearly, a RACI chart reduces the likelihood of misunderstandings and conflicts that often arise when team members are uncertain about who should do what activities. Take an example of a healthcare project. The RACI chart shows that the project lead is accountable for the project success, and the medical specialist, they are responsible for providing medical expertise to patients. If the medical specialist was mistakenly assumed to be accountable, it could lead to the conflict and misunderstandings when the project faces challenges. The RACI chart prevents such issues by making it clear that the project lead is ultimately responsible for the project's outcome. These examples illustrates how a RACI chart can bring structure and clarity to projects by facilitating effective communication and accountability among stakeholders. Now you understand the benefits, advantage of having a RACI chart in a project. Now the questions you must have in mind, how to create a RACI chart. So to create a RACI chart, very first thing what you have to do is define the list of project tasks or activities. Define the list of project tasks, work items, activities, and then identify the individuals or the roles which are involved to perform those activities, to act on those tasks. Once the list of action item is created and you identify the stakeholders, then what you need to do is you need to assign the RACI values to each task. RACI values in terms of responsible, accountable, consult, inform. How you could do this? You can use any software tool or template, what best suits your needs. Once you create the RACI chart, you follow the basic recommendation what I have shared now. Keep the RACI chart updated, use the color coding, make sure all stakeholders can understand their roles by looking at the RACI chart clearly. There are some common errors, there are some common mistakes which is usually done by project managers or the project team members. I recommend you please keep the information which I am going to share with you in mind. That is going to help you too much. First thing, please avoid assigning to many stakeholders under responsible category and accountable roles. Keep the responsible stakeholders in limited numbers. Keep the accountable person, leadership team, management team in a limited capacity. Second thing, please don't neglect the consulted stakeholders or informed stakeholders. The stakeholders who should be consulted, who should be informed, it is your responsibility to keep them informed, to keep them consulted, because the consulted stakeholders, they are going to provide feedback They are going to share comments whether the task activities you have done is in the right direction or not in the right direction, things are moving correctly, not moving correctly. This is what you'll be getting from the consulted stakeholders. And last but not the last, please don't miss updating the RACI chart as the project progress. What happens? Most of the stakeholders, they create the RACI chart in the beginning of the project during initiation phase, planning phase, but once the project gets into execution phase, they stop updating the RACI chart. Please don't miss updating the RACI chart on a regular basis as the project progresses. So please start using RACI chart in your projects for improved clarity, communication and efficiency. If you find this video helpful, please do like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel CoachPro Consulting. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment box and I would love to answer those questions, queries. We'll come up with more videos. Till then, thank you.